Oh, we're live. Why not? And it's a Wednesday, and we are so excited to do this. It's the 16th of June, and we're 3 days into our road trip. 21 days as we're circling Colorado, 1,600 miles, and destination mailbox followed by Pound Key. Here we are right now at Breckenridge Distillery. This morning we're in Fort Collins, Colorado, and we already had such a great tour at Hazel Dell Mushrooms. We're going to meet a new friend here in just a second. There's a new sheriff in town right here at Breckenridge Distillery, and Chef will introduce Robbie Reyes here in just a minute, but I have to go to Jesse. And Jesse, you're just the hostess with the mostest at all times. We feel so welcome when we come here all the time, and that's just really the culture and environment that you have here at Breckenridge Distillery. Thanks for having us.
You bet. I mean, the whiskey really draws in the good crowd.
It does.
Whiskey Wednesday, you guys are here. We have such an exciting day.
I'm sorry, I lost my mind.
That's okay.
Give me 30 seconds.
You got 30 seconds because she can just talk right here.
Testing, 1, 2.
So it is exciting to have you with us here, and Jay's getting a new microphone. But again, us being here in Breckenridge with you guys, we have been able to touch so many great people, farmers and ranchers in Weld County, in northern Colorado, where we were saying, here's a gift from Breckenridge Distillery. They enjoyed it. It's delicious. Breckenridge Distillery bourbon. Thanks for the gifts to hand out. That was so nice of you.
Yeah, I see you've been passing those around, so we can't thank you enough. And like I was saying, it's Whiskey Wednesday.
Yes.
So it's the perfect day to be at a distillery. We're so pumped you guys are here.
It's popping in here tonight. We have some great stuff set up, but you put it out in order. What are we going to see tonight?
Well, we're going to hang out with our new executive chef, Robbie, and then you guys are going to sit down for a delicious dinner, steaks,
Wait, right here.
side dishes,
Right here.
more whiskey, and then maybe a little more whiskey after that.
Right
And then I
here.
think you're hanging out in our exclusive whiskey club for an after show, so you guys better tune in.
How'd we get so lucky to do that?
You know me.
So we're all set up. I want you to do this, Jesse. Introduce this young man, and I think we're going to be so blown away and impressed with him, but I want him to hear from you the words that you've told me earlier, but just talk about Chef Robbie Reyes real quick.
Yeah, so Robbie's been with the distillery for a long time and has seen a lot of change that we've gone through and has adapted and has such creative ideas. And I think stepping into this new role, he's got a lot to show off. So I think as we get into the summer and into winter, some of the new dishes that may come out, but we're all really, really excited to see what he comes up with.
Ooh, okay, let's do that. I want to introduce the rest of our guests. You've got some stuff to do. You've got us these delicious drinks right here, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, my drink's actually getting watered down, so I'm going to go grab it. You guys have fun.
Thank you, Jesse. That's Jesse right here at Breckenridge Distillery. All right, our guest here today with us, Chef James Doxon. He's my eating friend. We go around and we eat together. And he's the executive chef at Vibe Concepts, and Vibe Concepts has 9 restaurants in town Denver. And thanks for being here with us,
Yeah,
too.
thank you so much.
He's my partner in crime, and I always love to do these tours with Brian. He is the Farm Whisperer, and Mr. Brian Freeman. Thanks for being here with us today as well. Adam and Luke Larson, I'll tell you what, Centennial Cuts, you're going to learn a lot more about Centennial Cuts, but there's a relationship that's here tied in with Breckenridge Distillery. You'll learn more about that. Thank you, Adam. Thanks, Luke, for being here, too. And the man of the hour, you got dinner service coming up.
Oh, yeah, we do.
It's a Whiskey Wednesday, so people want to eat, but we want to just thanks for having us here
Of course,
today.
of course.
And it's Chef Robbie Reyes, man. You told us you're from D.C.,
That's right. Yep, East Coast, born and raised.
East Coast, born and raised. A football fan?
Yeah, I like football.
Yeah, like football. But culinary is your thing, right?
That's it.
Oh.
It's number one.
And number one. Here in Breckenridge, you got here in 3.5 years?
Yep.
You just didn't leave.
Nope, still here.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about Breckenridge Distillery and the food on the menu. What's up with the menu? How would you describe this fare?
So I would describe it as contemporary American steakhouse with some refined plates as well. So you've got your big boy steaks, and then you also have a little nicer plated on some of the entrees and the appetizers.
So obviously in a distillery, they want to look it up on the shelves.
That's right.
That's the focal point here,
Yeah,
right?
showcasing that booze, you know.
How do you do something when you have award-winning spirits that people are coming far and wide, and not have your food program overshadowed by that. How do you? Is it one complementing the other, or are you just trying to strive for that?
I
Where
mean,
do you go
just
with that?
you just cook with it, you know. It's in a lot of our sauces, it's in a lot of our marinades. So we use the bourbon and all the different spirits here a lot.
Do you really?
Oh yeah,
So like bourbon with onions and that
bourbon with onions, bourbon, and like a Madeira sauce.
Go get them,
Well,
Brian.
yeah, and Chef, I'm curious, is it part of the meat is big flavors, right? Meat
Exactly.
done right
Exactly.
is a bigger flavor. Does that stand up to the bourbon? Is where my
It-
head sort of goes with it. That you've got something powerful enough.
I think so. I think they pair very well because they're both very bold flavors, and I think they go hand in hand. Whiskey and steak.
Yeah,
I love that, but you got to be careful with that, right, Robbie? Like,
Just a little bit.
you got to
yeah.
be
You
careful
don't
with
wanna
that much
overpower.
alcohol, right?
Yeah.
You can't over. I mean, I love putting alcohol in my food for sure.
Oh, of
but
course.
there is a such thing as overdoing it and
course.
getting a little bit too far with it.
Yeah.
Well, especially when you can, just like you said, you love to have ingredients speak for themselves. Spirits are an ingredient, but they can stand alone and be
Exactly.
a complement. I asked
Exactly.
you that a little bit earlier. Is there room in the same room? Is it enough space for spirits and cocktails and delicious food to be able to get married and meld together?
I would say so, and I think you guys will see for yourselves a little later how that happens.
We're looking
love that.
forward to having dinner here. So, Chef Robbie Reyes here at Breckenridge Distillery. And just if I could describe the Modern Eater show to you for a minute. We've always considered ourselves to just be a voice of the producers.
Okay.
And for people to come together and collaborate to be a stronger community. I think that what personifies the relationships that you have at Breck Distillery is that in past, you have done business with such as Centennial
course.
Cuts and bring in, but there's some great stories here. And I'd love for you to just jump into the spent grain story, if you could, Luke.
Yeah, so Centennial Cuts, we're all about local. Obviously, we're a local company, but local only goes so far. It needs to be a superior product. In my mind, juicy, flavorful beef is the most important element of beef. And how do you get juicy, flavorful beef? It's from locally grown corn that we feed and distillers grains that we pick up from Breckenridge Distillery. So it's a sustainable, superior tasting product. So.
That kind of makes your heart feel good to see those grains go out,
Yeah.
and then it comes back in a product that's in the way of the steak on your plate.
Steak,
like
yeah.
that's the type of stuff that, as a chef, I'd be giddy.
Of course,
That's
yeah.
so cool.
Part of though, don't you wonder what made Luke? Why did you want to start using the grains? Was it something you heard? Something? Did you have a connection with Breckenridge Distillery?
So Adam can answer that. Adam was our connection.
The owner, Brian Knoll, was from Pueblo, and I live in Pueblo, and we were talking, and he says, he started a distillery up here in the mountains, but has this grain that he needs to kind of, other people take it to the dump or don't have a use for it. And he said, well, I know you guys feed cattle, so we kind of got together and sent it down to the southeast Colorado, and we feed it to the cattle, and kind of a circle of life, I guess. Yeah.
I love a story. A couple good old boys having a drink, and making business. I love that.
Who's bigger now? Is it with your guys' cattle versus their spent grain? Are you guys having to supplement that because there's not enough spent grain, or is it vice versa? Are you not able to use all of the spent grain that they have, and what does that look like?
Yeah, we need more spent grain. It's a nice volume, especially when they're cranking it up and production is up. But we need more, and we're looking for partnerships like that.
Yeah.
I think that's an important message. So, folks at home, if you heard that, drink more Breckenridge bourbon.
Yes.
That's what it's going to take. And they also have vodka and, I believe, gin.
Gin? Yep.
So,
And others, yeah.
So drink more, folks. It's Breckenridge Distilling.
I do my part. I know that.
I talk about terroir or taste of a region, or can you, if you were to describe, Chef, like capture the taste of Breckenridge, what would that be regionally, ingredients-wise, or just thought process-wise? How would you capture the taste of this region here?
I would say like a lot of bold flavors, just using as much as possible from around us, which, can be a little difficult sometimes.
A lot difficult.
Just with us, the location that we're in, but,
Yeah.
also taking advantage of the location as well and the
Yeah.
ingredients we can get.
you got to use a lot of other great resources to bring ingredients here. But I'll tell you what, when I look at Breckenridge Distillery and I've seen your menu and the food that comes out, I mean, I'm so excited to see your reign into the future. How do you see that with you here as you're just kind of taking in and like you've got reign over the menu here? Are you looking to change anything up, or is it going to be regional ingredients? What's your thought?
You know, I think my thought process is we cook with what's around us. So, you know, the menu could change like every week if we wanted it to, or it could change, you know, every month or so. It's just really with cooking with stuff that's around us and stuff that we want to cook.
Go over your menu with us, would you?
Of course.
What you got here?
So we do some chilled appetizers, which is seafood. So the first one is a play on a shrimp cocktail, but it's a little more deconstructed, if you will. And it's not your typical, you know, cocktail sauce shrimp
I got
cocktail.
to try that. That looks fantastic.
Yeah. The next one is the Hamachi Kudo, and this is something I learned in my time in South America. So it's almost like a Peruvian-style ceviche on it with those kind of bright summer ingredients. So just refreshing, like hot day, you eat that.
And then you go right into steaks. That's interesting. Just right into steaks. That's what people want to see right on the menu, right?
Yep. So.
Cheese actually really complicated. It's got the coconut in it. It's a good flavor.
Yeah, of course. And then we have our steaks. So we have the tomahawk, which is our big boy steak. You know, you got the big bone. It's 36 ounces, dry aged for 45 days. And then the next one is a Kobe New York strip that we actually source from Snake River Farms. It's very, very good. It's very simple. And all our steaks, they get our horseradish garlic butter just right when it rests, and we just let that just soak right into the meat. The prime rib is we cook them whole every single day, and you know we just go.
Do you really?
We do
That's
whole
my
prime
soft
ribs.
spot is
That's
the
right.
prime rib.
Yeah, you
I always
Yeah.
go, let me get an end cut, just because I'm that guy
Sure.
that I don't want. To me, a prime rib has to change consistency. Just that.
Yeah, it's got.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
got to get that Delmonico end though.
We're gonna be
Right?
talking
Yeah,
cuts
yeah,
here.
you
a
got
little
it.
bit
You got to
later.
get that.
We like to
yeah,
geek
that
out
back
on
end.
cuts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
man. So prime rib right there, front and center.
Yeah, and those are gonna be like our three big steaks. You know.
Can I ask a real quick question on that?
Of course.
Do you take on the prime rib? Do you do something?
With your extra, or are you really burning through a whole
Yeah,
every single day?
so we run a happy hour from 3 to 5. So whatever's left over, we'll slice it, and then we'll do almost like we call it a breck dip. So it's like a roast beef sandwich with like caramelized onions and provolone cheese, a little au jus. Yeah, so we do that, and that's how we get rid of most of like our leftover, you know, trim or waste.
And I ask that because I love to see the creativity from a chef
Right.
when it's not like, oh, we're just gonna let it die in the cooler.
Yeah, no,
because
we don't
didn't
do that
sell any of
here.
the special, you know.
Can't.
No.
Money's so tight these days.
That's right.
Especially
with beef,
you
you
know,
know?
labor and all the pricing going up from every industry.
Yeah.
You really have to get creative, right?
Absolutely.
Using those products.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hanger steak and frites.
So that one is, you know, one of our cheaper steaks, but we actually marinate this one.
Forever.
We clean our hangers, we tenderize them with a jacquard, and then we have almost like a soy sugar kind of marinade that we just let them sit overnight, and it really comes out very, very tender.
What else do you have on here, chef?
And then if you want to get really refined, our Tornados Rossini, so it's a play on a French classical dish. So it's going to be a filet mignon that we sear, and then we baste in butter, garlic, and herbs with your seared foie gras, a butternut squash puree, and then a crouton, it's like a thick crouton that we cook in duck fat.
You're
so
flexing on
it just
this.
like it just absorbs all of that.
You like this?
That I would say that's my favorite dish on
here.
the dinner menu.
I'm
So
taking that into consideration. Everybody taking this in, trying to figure out what you're gonna have for dinner.
gonna be tough.
All right, ginger citrus marinated
It's a hard
ahi
choice.
tuna. Yeah. Brian, is that on what's on your list?
You know, I've recently gone to chicken, so I don't want to disappoint, man. And I know my beef guys over here, but I will tell you guys.
What?
The other night I saw someone bring out a hanger steak, and it made me think about your guys' Denver. And I like a thinner. I'd spend a little bit of time down in South America, and they they're not on these big thick steaks at all. They're on like a nice thin, but it's super tender all the time, and that's sort of where I go with it. I'm more of a fajita steak. Like I always, and people hate me because I take my steaks and chop them up like fajita meat because I use it the next day. But
Oh yeah,
Fine,
that's
do it the way you like it. So a lot of a la carte stuff here. You just grab what you want.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the steakhouse feel. You know, you get your big steak, and then you got your sides, appetizers, and then to just vegetables, potatoes.
So that's kind of your customer, isn't it? I mean, they're in here and they want to have a nice meal.
Exactly.
They've been either playing all day long.
Yeah.
They've been either skiing or biking or whatever they want recreational-wise, and they want to stock up, get some protein, and get some a la carte menu just the way they want it. And you're going to do that for them right here.
Exactly.
I love that.
Every day.
Robbie Reyes here, and we're at Breckenridge Distillery, Breckenridge, Colorado, obviously. I think we're going to go around. I just want to kind of take temperature of the room. What are you going to get, Luke?
Boy, it's a tough call. I'm thinking about the hanger steak, though. That sounds
Are you
pretty good.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, how about you, Adam? I'm thinking about that too. Brian, what are you thinking?
well, something just caught my eye. What is this duck fat reds? Did you even see that?
Ask the chef.
Yeah, so they're smashed red potatoes that we cook and we fry in duck fat. And it's almost like a spicy Remulite sauce that we just pour right over. So it's
For those, do you have
Sounds like low
tabletop?
fat. Sorry.
Yeah. You have a tabletop fryer, like a small one
little
with it
small
for the duck
one.
fat? Yeah,
Right.
yeah, because you have to. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm thinking prime rib too. Jay, you got something on your mind, or are you working too hard? What are you thinking for food, babe?
I'm trying to fix Freeman's microphone. I'm going crazy.
You know what? So I saw this flame grilled baguette, and I, like Jay, am a bread man. I could eat bread.
Oh, he'd
all
like that
day.
one, yeah.
So the baguette with the butter. What baguettes are you guys using? Are you making those in house? Are you using a local
we're actually
company?
sourcing those from Aspen Baking
Aspen
Company.
Baking?
Yeah, I think they have an exceptional product. Their sourdough baguette is very good.
Aspen Baking Company. They're a partner of ours, so we love to hear anytime somebody loves Aspen Baking Company because they're just such a wonderful community brand. Hey, Jeff Nations? Chef Reyes loves Aspen Baking Company. They do good stuff.
Such a superior product.
Hey, man, I know it's going to start popping off in here, and you've got a busy night. We're going to be here for the remainder of the time. Make sure we behave ourselves.
Yeah,
You'll know who's who and what's what as we're here. But I'm looking forward to just seeing you develop here and flourish because it's a long time coming, man. And sitting down with you has been very fun.
Awesome.
I really, really love sneaking over. I thought you were bringing me some vodka.
Just a handle.
Got to make sure the chef is hydrated. That's right. So we do this one thing towards the end of any interview on The Modern Eater is to look in the camera and talk to our audience and say, this is why you should come up to Breck Distillery and have some fun with us and eat food. Give 30 seconds and tell people to come up and join you.
This is why you guys should come up because it's amazing. The food's great, the alcohol is superior, and it's just a good time. Good vibes.
All together.
Yahoo!
Yeah.
Thank you, Chef.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Brother. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Chef Robbie Reyes here with us. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to put our food order in. I can tell you what, we're going to have a great time tonight. They've just set it up for us. We have our big show coming up. We have tons of content, 3 days worth of farm tours. And here's the thing, connectivity is always an issue when you're out on a farm. We've got the best connectivity here at Breckenridge Distillery, so we're going to be showing you photos. We're going to show you B-roll of Breckenridge Distillery. We're going to show you farm tour stuff and our Instagram and picture of the day. I think I took the best picture of the day. Can I show it to you real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Let me see what you do.
He always thinks he takes the best, folks, just so you know.
I do take the best picture.
Jay's pictures are pretty good.
How's your picture?
My pictures are always the best.
You're going to be able to vote on them on the stream, but we're taking a ton of photos. Our Instagram story, I'm biased, but I like it a lot. We'd love for you to follow along to our trip as well. But you look at this camera roll, I will show you the photo of the day. I said to this farmer, okay, he is a rancher. His name's Terry Hungenberger. And I said, you want to see what a working man's hands look like, Terry? Let's do a side-by-side photo of your hands versus mine, and this is what we got to see.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
There's
very
a little
cool.
bit of difference right there. That's what you can see, and these are the hardworking men and women that absolutely bring together the best produce and livestock here in Colorado, and our agriculture is none better. So we appreciate you sticking around. And Chef Robbie Reyes, man, we're going to look for big things out of you, man.
All right.
Thanks for, when you see this big order coming in with a bunch of hungry boys, it's us over here, man.
Good.
Thank you, Chef.
Can't wait.
All right, cool. We're going to take a break, come right back.
Thanks, Chef.
And we'll see you for dinner right here at Breckenridge Distillery as the Modern Eater. We continue. Yes.